Oh yeah.
The one who said he liked his father?
Yeah, I was Calvin.
They said he wasn't coaching him in his fight with
Lamont. Yeah, he wasn't.
So were they trying to say that's why he didn't fight well?
I think that's I honestly think that's an excuse. I don't think it was really on because what happens, right? Even though you get another trainer, you don't lose what you already know. You understand? You may do some things different. You may make some mistakes, but you don't lose what you common sense know to do. You know, so that's what that you don't lose that in boxing. You know, your muscle memory is one of the biggest things for this sport that you capitalize on. Like, you know, okay, I know this new coach really told me to do this, but let me try this out here. See, because I was doing this. Oh, I know how to do this right here. Let me see if this one. Oh, okay, well, I'm going back to this. If this works, get back to this one coach. You see that's working for me, right? So let me just, if you want to add to that, I add to it. But that right there is what's been working for me for a long time. So I don't, it's, in boxing, of course, what guys don't do, you got a guy, it's rough for guys like a Mike Tyson, like a Tank Davis, like a Roy Jones, or like a Floyd Mayweather, because when they don't dominate like they've been dominating, or they don't look good in a certain fight, then they get ridiculed. Because they're just supposed to run through people. That's not how.
What you think is happening now?
With Tank. Yeah. That's what's happening. Me as a coach, it's my job to make sure I'm watching everything. Even when I tell my fighters, I tell them, I'm like, listen, man, this guy right here is different. This ain't gonna be the same as this fight. But I know boxing. Most people are fans. Even some of the fighters, they're fans. They're like, I like this guy, but he ain't. This guy's different. And so, when I said weeks ago to my buddy, like, listen, this is the Mount Rose fight, it's different. You can take a run, like a run through this kid. This kid can fight, And so, when it went that way, people were like, oh my God, there must have been something wrong with him. No one wrong with him. He just got a guy who like, all right, bring that. I'm bringing it back to you. That's all it was.
But no, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
This is my take on it. It looked like to me they both have so much respect for each other that they was not willing to take the chance to get knocked out because they had fought before. So they was more respect. So I believe this next fight is going to be the better fight because now all bets are off. Now they know what they facing. They understand how the situation was. Everybody thought they saw something that they didn't see when they was in the ring. They saw something he could have done, but he didn't want to make that chance. Now somebody's going to take that chance, and I think it's going to be the Roach kid that's going to take the chance more because Tank lost a little bit off of that. He lost a little shine, not off the same thing you said.
Yeah.
Because the expectations is supposed to knock everybody out.
Exactly. Yeah. You get, and I always say, like, Ghandi's a good puncher, right? Ghandi got strong hands. But we don't train, me, myself, Coach Wally, Coach Eddie, we build his strength, but we don't train him just to knock people out. Because
you ain't going to knock everybody out.
Yeah, because what's going to happen when you can't knock this guy out? You got to know how to box. So we work with, because Ghandi was coming to the amateurs, Ghandi was more a pressure fighter. Now he's becoming a complete boxer puncher. So he's doing more step backs now and doing setups, and that's where coming into the pro ranks he's starting to learn. He's starting to get that counter punch, setting guys up, not trying to win the whole fight in one round, but beating them each round at a time. That's what we're for. Yeah.
I thought when
he laying it down though. I was hyped today. I was like, oh,
When you was fighting that guy, the Spanish kid, it was like you outwilled him. You kind of broke him a little bit, because at first he was real cocky and everything, and everything, but then you saw the momentum you started building on him, and them body shots was just starting to tear him up.
Which kid? Because you fought a couple of
I know, I saw it on the video when I pulled him up. He sparred some kid where is that at anyway?
Philly?
That was a sparring match? That was a sparring, not this was like
I know what he's talking
about. Was you in Patterson?
I think he was in Hackensack. I think you did a sparring match.
This kid was a Spanish kid.
Was it Justin? I think was it Justin?
Justin who?
From Bayonne.
Oh yeah, I think so.
He was hyped up. They had him hyped up.
Justin could fight though.
Yeah, but you could tell that they wasn't expecting him to do what he did. In the fight, you could tell. I mean, I'm just watching it, but I watch fights, and I could see that this guy was supposed to be somebody.
Yeah.
You know, it was like that's how the narrative was. The narrative was like.
Then somebody stepped in the room.
Yeah. Then when he finished with him, it was like, oh, who is this dude? You know, that was a who is this dude type of situation and everything. But I have a quick question. I just want to get one in, and then I'm done.
We're going to continue the conversation. But hey, welcome to Poochie's Place. As you can tell, we are live already talking about boxing, talking about the fight. And the reason we are doing that is because I have to read this. I have to make sure I don't read nothing out. So we have, for you guys who don't know, for you guys who are new to the room, but most of you guys aren't new, and I know that you are familiar with our guest right now. He is a North native, respected and figure in North Fort Lansing. He's a retired professional boxer, mentor to young talent, coach to amateur and professional boxers, the boxing program coordinator for the city of North, manager of Dorka Boxing Academy at Borderland Street Recreational Center, and was once ranked number 9 in the world. I don't think they heard that though, but they're gonna hear about that today. And he is a New Jersey Boxing Hall of Fame inductee. We have Derrick Nas Graham.
All right.
And that's Coach Graham. We do a lot. And he has brought with him. And we're gonna have the same conversation, even better. We're gonna have the same introduction one of these days, because we're gonna talk it into existence.
Definitely. Right.
He brought with him one of his boxers, young, Ghandi, Ghandzilla, Romain.
Wow.
I'm coming for that job.
You get shocked with that.
Y'all gonna be hearing a lot of that.
Yeah.
So they came into the building to talk to us today about fighting, and of course we're gonna end up talking about your legacy, Nas. So you definitely have on you left your mark. But we got to get back to what we were talking about, because it was and TLA had a question about that.
All right, I just had a real quick. When you decide what weight division you're going to come out of, do you decide where your power is at, or does it go by the actual, like, you know, where you think your advantage is going to be at? Like, you know,
I think I get your question.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it kind of depends on what you already are. Like what you already kind of like walking. So the weight classes are 140, 147, 154, 160. Like it's every 6 or 7 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So me with my build, I can't obviously fight like 130. Like I can't do that. We're trying to get to 140, but that's a bit of a stretch. But 147, it's not too far. Like I'm still losing weight, and when I get to 147, I feel like I'm in. You know,
you feel strong.
Yeah, I feel strong there. So it all depends on like for example, somebody that normally walks around 180, once they start training, losing weight and everything, they could probably get down to probably like 168 or 165. You know, so it all depends on that person and where they feel comfortable at.
Like if I was a boxer, I would want to be a guy that knocking dudes out. I don't want to really be a boxer because I ain't trying to get hit too much, right? So it's like I would try to be in a division where I would have power.
Yeah, but
is that wrong?
No, it's not wrong, but
I'm with him.
it's not wrong for you to have that mindset, but you got to understand something. This weight class is for reasons.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
So you got to understand, like in the heavyweight division.
It's unlimited.
215 and up.
Yeah.
You could be 215 pounds fighting a guy 295 pounds.
Yeah.
That's heavyweights. But it's different up there.
Mm-hmm.
Because a guy 215 pounds can knock out a guy 200.
Holyfield shows you that.
Yeah, exactly. But it takes accumulation of punches. You got guys who punch like George Foreman, right? He could just one shot or a hard jab like Ray Mercer could put you out. Mm-hmm. You got guys who's a good puncher but not a big knockout one punch guy like Larry Holmes or Holyfield. Mm-hmm. They could accumulate punches to get a big guy out of it. Mm-hmm. So that's the difference. But now when we come down to welterweight, which is one of the most infamous weight classes in boxing history,
true,
right? Where that's what Ghandi's at. A lot of guys walk around 175.
Yeah.
Wow. That's what I weigh now.
Yeah.
So, and I was going to go down to 147 at this weight?
He's walking around right now probably about 157.
Yeah, 160. Yeah, like 157.
About 10 pounds above his weight class. Because he knows he's disciplined enough to don't go way up there.
Yeah.
But then now when the fight is here, I got Rick to go crazy to get back down, and that's not what you want to do.
Yeah.
You want to kind of walk around right there. It ain't gonna take no pound, especially with a coach like me, because me training with Bernard for years, I know how to cut weight on my guys like that.
And that's the hardest part about boxing too, man. That making that weight, man.
Yeah.
Well,
it hasn't been crazy for Ghandi because me personally, but we sit down as a team. You know what I'm saying? None of us just has we're all team. Ghandi has a whole team behind it.
Okay.
So not one of us make just a decision. We make decisions based on what makes sense by the field. Nobody has this just that. No, what makes sense that's best for Ghandi Romain. That's what we do. And so, I don't think Ghandi, personally, I don't think he could go to 140. I don't think he should, because I think that'll take a little bit much from him, because he has avoided that weight class.
What weight is he fighting now?
147.
So you say you don't want him to go lower?
I wouldn't necessarily want him to go lower.
Especially if he's already there.
Yeah. And the thing is, he does very well at 147. He's strong at 147.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And he's durable at 147. So sometimes when you try to drop a little bit too much, it takes a little something away from you.
I
take a little something. Even in 4 or 5 pounds can take a little something away. And if the other guys walk around at 147, and now he makes 140, and you try to come down from 157 to 140, who has the advantage?
The guy that's been there already.
Exactly. And so that's why I say no. So it's always like, we put Ghandi in fights. We don't look for easy guys. We look for guys that make sense. We know the guys can fight, but we know what we got.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we match Ghandi up.
So now, as a management team, your goal is to steer him in the right fights. Don't put him in over his head yet.
No, put him. Keep building and building.
Yeah.
As he goes on, the fights are gonna get tough.
Yes.
Because the guys are gonna have more experience. So that's gonna happen, right? But as we keep working, when we work and we get wins with Ghandi, myself, Coach Wally Cooper, and Coach Eddie, we working on seeing how Ghandi's reacting to certain things, seeing how he's listening in the corner, how he's taking directions. And now we see if the guy got a certain thing off, okay, we gotta work on that when we get back.
Okay.
Ghandi, maintain. All right, Ghandi, take a step back, reset, let's go again. Those are the kind of codes that we have for him when we go forward to get him to that next level. And so no matter whether Ghandi knocks the guy out or not, because a lot of people, he knocked the guy out in the second round. Yeah, but he made some mistakes in the first round.
Knockouts on the
right? So we made some mistakes in the first round. We gotta capitalize, because it worked on that guy. This other guy may be a puncher.
Yeah.
And that mistake that he made in the first round, we may not get to the second round. So we always keep it real like that with ourselves.
You had one draw.
Yeah.
Controversial.
Controversial. Oh man, that fight was that fight was it was so hyped. It was so hyped. Like we did a like a webcast interview. We were like talking smack, like he was talking his smack with his people, I was talking smack with my people. And then when we got there, it was like, oh, all right, we here. And then we did the face off and everything. It was just built up. You could feel it. Mm-hmm. So when the fight started and it happened, I was just, in that zone. I remember Coach Nas telling, because I came out first. So the guy came out second, and then that's when he was like, it was his hometown. It was in Philly. So he had the home crowd, and then my people came out too. But when he came out, he was like, and he came in the ring, and then he was doing like a little boastful movement. Like he was like in our corner a little bit, then he would go around, and then when he got to his corner, he like crouched down like this, and he was watching. And then I remember Coach Nas is right here. He's telling me, don't even look at that. He intimidated. Don't even look at that.
Yeah, already.
Like me, I
something.
keep a very bland face. Like you won't know what I'm thinking. Poker face is there. Like you won't know nothing. So I'm just staring. Like, I got my gloves on and everything. I'm just staring still. Coach Nas is like, yeah, just keep looking. He's intimidated.
Yep.
He's intimidated. And then I always remember that because he was.
Yeah.
He was. So when the fight started, it's like, yeah, like we in that now, you know? It's like, yeah, we in that now. Like, we in that smoke now. So those looks that you were doing, it doesn't, like, that has nothing to do with the fight, you know? So, once that happened, like, the fight happened, I feel like, and everybody.
But you was in his man's hometown, so you wasn't going to come out of here unless you knocked him out. You wasn't going to come out.
That's where the politics come. Yep. But, yeah, like, you could see that. You could see who won the fight if you watched the fight. So, and he left with 9 stitches. He had to get, he had to get 9 stitches. So it's like, with that being said, like, and me, I left, you know, still looking right. So, that'll tell you, like, you could tell after a fight, a fighter who won and who lost, like his body language, he got his head down, he's not really looking at people, and that's how he was. Like, his head was down, he wasn't really trying to make eye contact with anybody, and in me, I'm talking to the mic, I'm talking to everybody, because I know I won, you know, so that fight was definitely something, like, it was definitely something. I try not to think about it, though, but it was definitely something.
You know, my opinion in that fight, I told, you know, we like I said, we sit down and we were talking, I said, Waleed, that's a fight we need to take. He said, yeah, Nas said, yeah, we need to take this undefeated guy. We're fighting in his backyard. I said, and you know, and I that's what I do. I study the fighters, and are we there yet? I said, Ghandi's there. This guy is the best person to fight. So I knew the kid was tough. The amount of performer, he is tough. He's a tough kid, right? He's a tough kid, right? He come to fight. I could tell that he was intimidated by Gandi, right? But we knew that we was fighting him in his backyard. We knew that it was a big chance that we can get robbed. Ghandi's performance, because in the first 2 rounds was kind of even. So even the ring announcer, when he got the ring, he looked at his pad, and we waited, and I'm smiling like, we just dominated this fight. We just gave this kid his first loss. And the ring announcer, because we know each other, his name is Cal, he's a great ring announcer. And he looked at the pad, he did like this, and he looked at me like this, and I said, nah, bro. I said, nah,
For
bro.
real? I didn't even know that.
Yeah. He looked, I said, nah, bro, come on, Cal. He said, ladies and gentlemen, Judge such and such scores this and that. Judge such and such scores this for Ghandi Romain. And Judge such and such has it even. This is a draw. They was happy with it.
Of course.
Ghandi was just like, you know, it is what it is, man. We know where we at. We know we're in Philly. But now, back to what Ghandi was just saying about, you know, who won the fight. You know when you know who won the fight? When the fans come to what fighter come out there. I couldn't get into the dressing room.
Yo, facts. His father was the first person to greet me when I got out that fight. His dad.
Oh, he made his dad.
His dad was recording. I got out the ring, and then that's when he was like, you just fought my son. Come here. And then I came. He had it on video. He was recording. He's like, God, he just fought my son. You just did what you had to do. Like, my son lost that fight.
But he didn't say it, though.
He said that. He said it. Yeah. And then his aunt, everybody in his corner was talking to me.
We gotta, the boxer, it's just like the same, right? You gotta, we can't be mad at him because he took some fight, you know, he didn't win it. If I can put this in my pocket, I'm just gonna go away.
Yeah,
what we want him to do, say I ain't winning.
Yeah,
but you know, still though, he
got it, but at least, you know, you got your acknowledgement.
Yeah, I did. I definitely gained fans that day.
Yeah.
I did.
Let me ask you one more thing there, John. What's your mindset when you get ready to fight? You already know you're gonna get hit, right? So what do you thinking about?
Oh man, I don't get asked those. I usually just, you know, like stay in the median, you know. Like, the ultimate worst thing that could happen is, of course, you get knocked out. The best thing that could happen is you knock the person out and you win. So I don't go in there thinking to myself, like, oh, yeah, we about to get this knockout. Like, that's what we about to do. I don't go in there thinking that. And, of course, I don't go in thinking that I'm going to lose. You know, so I usually stay in the middle. I take each day as it comes, you know. The hardest part about boxing is the training. Like, the actual fight day is fun. It's actually fun. It is. But, like, the training for it, that's what I have to, you know, kind of brace myself for. Like, every day getting up, 4:30 in the morning, going to practice at 5.
It's a job.
Then it is. It's a lifestyle. Then going to work, then coming back, having 2 more practices. It's a lot, you know.
And also, you know that if you don't put that in, you're going to shortchange yourself in the ring.
Exactly.
That's why
It's very
boxing.
energetic in the ring. Like, you have to have a lot of energy.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, he is just busy all over the place. I be on it, like, get him. Like, he was all over the place. But
Thank you so much.
And I heard you, I could tell when you took direction, and even when you spoke after your fight, it was, first of all, just such a humble person. You have such a great spirit.
Thank you.
Smiling all the time, even in the midst of all of that.
Thank you.
You got so many women chasing him.
Yo.
Wow. No, I was hearing it in the video.
There's some
What's going on? What he gonna do? And you know what? It's the honesty. I know where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lifestyle of a fighter. You know, I was, you know, I've
You
been there.
You said that was you.
Yeah, I've
That was
been
you.
there. I was married.
That's harder.
Okay.
Yeah, I was actually, when I fought in Atlantic City on the undercard of Turbo Ghandi and Ivan Robinson. A big fight.
I saw that fight.
Yeah, I was fighting number 4 ranked world contender Andrew Murray. And my sisters, my wife, and my family members was there, of course. So I upset this guy, and I dominated Andrew Murray and beat him. And so now I'm doing an interview live on HBO, and I hear all this, you know, I got to keep at the camera.
Yeah.
While he's asking me to answer these questions, because we're live. And I can hear my sisters saying, well, who are y'all? So we're going over there to tell some women. I don't know. But my sisters with my wife. I'm like, please, not on this.
They made it scrap up there.
Not on national TV, please. Don't do this. But yeah, so it's you know, it's that time. That's where he's at. So when a lot of times you got and I just talked with this new coach who's from Pittsburgh. I had to meet with him yesterday at the Master over in these storms. The man called me and said, I want you to meet with this guy. He's actually the first guy who fought Delaware when he turned pro. Okay. The first fight. So he wanted to meet me. They want to come to these storms. He wanted to help him with a boxing program. So when we're talking, and I'm talking with him, I'm thinking about that fight from back then, and when you know what you go through as a fighter. So you know that was our time back then. So now that this is his time, some guys are training guys, and they never fought. So they don't know all of this experience, but they know a whole lot about boxing.
The training.
The new trainers.
Okay.
These guys never. A lot of them. Some of them did, but a lot of them never fought. So a lot of guys that never fought, they don't know the stuff to tell them not to do, or the stuff to get prepared for. They don't know what he's feeling when he's sitting in that dressing room waiting. To go out there to fight. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what that the nervousness that you have walking to the ring, no matter who you fight. They don't know that because they never experienced that. And this is where you need guys in your corner that has spirit that knows what to say to that fight. Like, listen, Champ, shake it out. Let's go. As soon as the bell rings, you know the nervousness is going. I know you're nervous, Champ. Yeah. It's all right. If you wasn't, I'd be working. Yeah. Right? So I know you're nervous, Champ. As soon as that bell rings, it's go time. And that's what they need to hear sometimes. But if you don't know it, because you ain't been there, you know, even at the highest level, you know, I tell people also, when I fought on the undercard of Bobby Chaz, I didn't know what the crowd looked like. I'm in the dressing room the whole time. I never went out. Sitting there, get my hand wrapped. Now, here's the thing. You sitting in the back, the guy just came from fighting. He comes back here. This is wide open. Right? Yeah. One guy in the bathroom urinating blood. Yeah,
You already,
and you about to go out there to fight. So you gotta have a strong mind for that. And then you don't know what the crowd looks like. I didn't know what the crowd looked like. I go out there and I hear this roar. Your nerves start, and it's a crowd that's like unbelievable. That's next level. And I seen
fighters.
Yeah. He actually did it. Had to do that at the Prudential. That's and I knew that's what It's like I gotta see how he reacts. He didn't do it right because one of our fighters did.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, he caught stage fright, and it happens.
Yeah,
fights, and it don't mean he can't fight. He can fight, but that stage fright is different. This is why when Floyd Mayweather says stuff like he ain't ready for the stage.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That's what he means. I know what he means.
Yeah. But do you think with you modeling like so you're used to the public, so does that help you with like when you have to speak or be in this space and knowing people watching?
It does help. I feel like it adds to like my calmness. Overall, I think I'm a pretty calm person. So I know that there's gonna be 100 eyes. Boxing it's really 90% mental. So a lot of things you could kind of like kill in your mind, and in that way you just gotta focus on the fight. For example, half of these people don't even know what they're watching. They're just literally waiting for a person to fall. You get what I'm saying? So they don't know. Okay, he jabbed, he slipped, and then he came back with the hook. They don't really know that. They just know that he hit him, and then the dude threw, he missed, and then he came back in. So as far as that goes, the opinions and everything, it's cool. Of course, you want people to think you're a great fighter, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day what they think. They're not getting in the ring, So with me knowing that, it helps as far as getting ready for a fight. Of course, the nerves. I don't want to look bad. Like I like to believe I'm a self-improvement junkie, meaning like I like for people to see me elevate. Like I feed off of it low key. But when I'm going to fight, it's like I know that I put the work in. Like I know that I woke up those early mornings, went to sleep really late, and like I trust my training. I trust my coaches. I trust my team. So I take the biggest comfort in that. That helps me the most. And they were fighters. He just said. So he knows what I'm going through. Like he usually tells me.
Eddie did
Muay Thai. Yeah, Coach Wally.
Wally, you know who Boy is. His son is ranked number 3.
Yeah, his son just fought. He just won. Big shout out to Boy. Shout out to Boy. He just won.
But he was a little trained.
Yeah, he just won. So
at 10 years old, he was ranked like number 2 in the United States.
Wow.
Ghandi, I have a question for you.
Sure.
I was listening to what Coach Nas said about sitting in the room and seeing all the boxers come back beat up. And my mom bragging about the first interview I was in the book. And her saying that you never fought before. What makes you want to continue to do that after seeing that? Like, I think I'll be like the other.
Yeah, so let's put him up today. He started professional boxing, but he didn't never have a fight. He wasn't a guy. He wasn't a fighter.
How do you not want to fight? Like, how do you not want to
see that and go?
Yeah, and be like,
see that and be like, that's it.
Yeah.
I actually don't know. Like I see it and I think to myself, like every boxer I think thinks to themselves, like, yo, why do I do this? Like, why do I do this? Like, this is grueling. It's a lonely sport. It's a lot.
Yeah, I think you're born a boxer, man. To be honest with you, man.
So with that being said, it's like you just gotta see it and trust your training. Like you trust and know that okay, we're prepared. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. So
does his attitude help you? Like he's so coachable.
Very, very coachable.
And he's such a it makes it so much easier when you have someone who has the mental intelligence.
Yeah.
That he has.
When you what it is that as I never knew I was gonna when I retired from boxing or being a fighter I was gonna be a coach. I didn't plan on it. It fell into me through this kid by the name of Michael Anderson, who was another phenomenal fighter out of the board. Great puncher, great knockout, all in the same weight class. And when you start teaching certain things, everybody can't get it. Everybody's not going to do it or execute it the way. But when you see someone like Ghandi, I show him a certain, like I was just working with Ghandi a few weeks back on South, stepping on Foul Southport. And he saw a certain move that I saw him in the setup one day, and I seen it, and I just, like he got a new piece of candy. That makes you like a kid with a new piece. I'm going to use that, and you can see that. And then, one of the biggest compliments as a coach is to see him execute it. Because when the guy go down off it, first thing God do, you make. First thing, the guy go down on it. Can't do that. You was right. Yeah, it was right up to the corner. I was like, I see it. Yeah, Coach Book. That's the attitude. You see it. I do. So that's the thing with like your baby girl was saying. When you're a fighter, even though you see guys come back like that, it's just something inside your manhood. It's whatever.
Right. Yeah. Like I'm
gonna make sure that don't happen. Right. Kind of just like it's gonna be the other guy. If anything, it's gonna happen. Ain't gonna, it's gonna be. And I've seen guys come back in the dressing room just like that, but they wanted to fight.
Right.
It happens.
Who's your coach?
My coach started out as Charles Johnson. So I had a few coaches as I built up. Charles Johnson, then his assistant was Naeem Muhammad, who's another coach. Naeem Muhammad is actually from Bellsburg, and he was the assistant. Naeem was actually a fighter. Now my coach actually wasn't a fighter, but he had been in boxing and he had been shadowing the legendary Tommy Parks. Tommy Parks, if y'all don't know, is the coach. You saw the movie Hurricane that Denzel Washington played? Tommy trained the real Hurricane.
Okay.
Tommy Parks trained the real Hurricane. Tommy Parks trained Bobby Chaz, Ray Mercer, Al Cole, Charles the Natural Murray, Tracy Harris Patterson. These are all world champions. And the only guy to ever beat Aaron Pryor.
Wow.
Bobby Joe Young.
Wow.
Bobby Joe Young is the only man in history to ever beat Aaron Pryor. At the time, Tommy Parks trained him. And if you look at it, you can pull that fight up on YouTube. You'll see Tommy Parks in the ring, and Aaron Pryor goes over there and shoves Tommy Parks. And Tommy Parks turns and cracks Aaron Pryor. You can pull that up. But, yeah, so I learned a lot of the slick stuff from Tommy Parks, right? And I'm a guy, like, in boxing, always, I noticed when I was called by my coaches, they said, yo, you one of them guys, you're a student of knowledge. So you even if you're in the ring with a guy, you're sucking from him. You're sucking some magic out of him. You're getting from him, right? And so when I started sparring with Bernard Hopkins, I started getting a lot.
So you a middleweight?
I started off as a welterweight, Ghandzilla. I moved into junior. Then I went up to 160, but I did my best work at junior middleweight.
154 around that way?
Yeah, 154. I did my best work at junior middleweight. I went up to, only reason I had even went up to middleweight is to challenge and keep the New Jersey title in New Jersey. Because this guy who's filthy rich now, he went out and started a big, some kind of box aerobics thing in California. There's a Cali kid named Danny Musico, who was a sheriff in Newark, in Essex County. And he was the middleweight champion in New Jersey. And he lost to this Dominican kid by the name of Pedro Gomez, who was on ESPN, no USA Boxing Network, USA Boxing. They fought on USA Boxing, he knocked out Danny, kicked a punch, and took the title. And so they wanted the title to stay here. I wasn't 165, I was 154 pounds, but they asked me without go challenge the guy for the belt. And so I did. I just went up to 160 just to fight him, and I beat him and kept the belt here. Then I was like, I can cover 54 pounds. So I still have that belt on my dresser.
All right, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So, but I campaigned at 154 for the most of my career, for the rest of my career. That's where I fought Andrew Murray and Davey Hilton, Winky Wright.
You fought Winky too?
Yeah. You know, it's funny. The guy was just talking about before Oscar De La Hoya. When he said, he said, you poor Winky. He said, sheesh. I was like, yeah.
Was that Winky in his heyday?
Yeah.
This is in his heyday.
That's when honestly speaking, everybody was running for him.
Yeah, because he was a hell of a boxer.
Yeah. Everybody. De La Hoya didn't want to fight him. Nobody wanted to fight him. Trinidad, none of them. Yeah. And then when I was the first guy who he fought in 4 years in the United States. I was the first guy who gave him a fight. And I didn't have to fight him, but you know, when you're young from the win or lose, I'm gonna fight him. You know what I'm saying? Right. And he was a guy who was the only one who would take the fight because after I beat the number 4 ranked guy, they ranked me number 9 in the world. So the commission said, no, y'all got to tell the IBF, you got to really come higher than that. And I understood the IBF. They said, well, who we moved? We got Fernando Vargas, the world champion. Trinidad is number 1. De La Hoya is number 2.
Oh, you was in there with all the big boys.
Yeah. So I'm in the lineup with these guys at the time. So they said, all right, well, this is what we do. IBF said, whoever wants to fight for number 1 ranking, got to fight Grand. So we went to challenge Emmett Linton, who was ranked like number 7 at the time. He said no, he turned down the fight. And then we challenged former world champion Carl Daniels. And then, you know, I know what it was, they couldn't get footage on this,
which was
who I beat. Because the guy I beat was a knockout guy. He's not a people out. And so, only guy who would take the fight was the guy nobody wanted to fight. And that was Winky. And so, we took the fight. I lost to Winky. Hats off to Winky. Winky's a tough fighter. Hey, listen, I don't feel so bad and losing to a guy like Winky. Winky beat Shane twice. Beat Trinidad, beat Bronco McCarthy 3 times, beat Ike Cortez. He beat Andrew Council.
Winky fought him, man. He fought him, man.
He gave Bernard Hopkins hell.
He did.
Yeah, Winky was a tough dude. He was a tough, tall, light skin. Don't listen. Don't sleep on light skin.
That's another question I was going to ask Ghandi. Like, how do you get past like when a dude look like he's scary looking, you know, and you don't let that be a problem. You know, it's like. You see some rough-looking dudes sometimes across the ring from you. You be like, you don't get intimidated by that?
Nah. Like I said, like my poker face is very, very, very strong. Like I could be terrified. I could be terrified, but no one will know. Like probably my coaches, because they know me. They see me every day. They be with me. But even then, it's like I even try to hide it from them. You know, so. My poker, and if I hide it from them, I know nobody else is gonna see it. So yeah, like I keep a very, very good poker face. But usually what happens is if I see a dude that's intimidating, and then that happens more in sparring than a fight, to be honest. Okay. But yeah, like if I'm in a fight or a sparring match, and then I see a dude who's intimidating, I just try to remember my training. But then once we start locking in, and then I feel a hit, I'm like, damn. I'm like, damn. I'm like, this dude is tough. This dude is tough. But I usually, you know, like, I usually get past that. Like, I usually get past that. And then once they feel, you know, me, it's like, oh, okay, yeah. Now we lock in. If you hit a dude and then you see a facial expression or he smiles, you know you got a good shot. Because most boxers, when you hit them and then it was a good shot, they smile. Like, they either smile or they be like, nah,
like you didn't do nothing.
Yeah, that they do that. So those two indicate, those 2 indicators let me know. It's like, oh, you felt that. You felt that, so I'm going to do it again and again, you know? So, I usually, that's how I get past it.
That's one of the things that, like what he's speaking about is that we get that part of me, getting that stage fright out of him. I take him as far as big names.
Yeah, why not?
So when I told him the first time, I said, yeah, we're going to go down to Philly next week. He's like, we're going to spar who? I said, we're going to spar Hank Lundy.
Oh, okay.
He's like, Hank Lundy? I was like, yeah, we're going to get that work with Hank Lundy. So I know he's excited, at the same time he's nervous. Hank Lundy, Terrence Crawford,
Hank's been up there now.
Yeah, Hank been up.
Like, you need to know where you at, though.
Yeah, and that's what I need to know. And this was before his first pro fight.
Yeah, this is
pro debut. This is before his pro debut.
Yeah.
Man, really?
Yeah. So I took him down there and I said, we're going to know if you're ready to turn pro. Because this is how I like to do. This is what my trainers did with me. I'm sparring Charles and Natural Murray. At the time, I just wanted to go to gloves as an amateur, and he's the IBF world champion. Then I'm sparring Aaron Superman Davis. You know what I'm saying? Them was sparring Livingstone Bramble. God rest his soul, Jesus past.
I'm
sparring Bramble as an amateur. So they put me in there. I'm sparring James Hartrock Green.
What?
As an amateur, I'm sparring.
All the hard dudes, man.
So I gotta take him to do this. I'm gonna do. Why would I not do with him what I did with my own self, right? Because I need to know have my boxer understand. This is what we're looking at when we climb that ladder. So we get used to it right now. So he's been in there with Teofimo Lopez.
Okay.
He's been in there with Richard Coleman. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he's been in there already.
Richardson Hitchens.
Yeah, Richardson Hitchens. He's been in there already.
Are you a southpaw?
Nah, more orthodox, but
because when I see you fighting southpaw, I'm like, I didn't know you was a southpaw. I think I saw you fighting right-handed also.
Nah,
no.
I'm an orthodox fighter. It was probably a mirror effect. You know, when you watch the video.
So when you say orthodox fighter, what are you saying?
Meaning I'm right-handed, so my right hand is in the back. My left hand is.
Yeah, but I've seen you fight southpaw.
Nah, never. No? I don't know how to fight.
That little sparring thing, I think I saw that was his left.
Probably either been a mirror thing or the way he stood. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the sparring they'll film it off the mirror.
Okay.
Everybody want to be a cameraman.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I know what I saw.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I went to ask you that. I was like, what is
Nah, I want to learn how to fight southpaw, but. Yeah, I feel like most switch hitters, it's cool. Like, for example, Terrence Crawford, Boots, and it's like, even Javante, Floyd. It's cool. I do want to know how to do that, but I feel like orthodox is cool. Like, I want to master that, you know? Yeah. So I want to master that before I move on to learn southpaw. I don't want to learn two things at the same time. Confuse myself, you know?
My thing is this, like, if you master the one thing that you're at, then you should be able to fight a southpaw fighter or a orthodox fighter the same way.
Really?
Right.
Yeah, because my thing was like, all right, I sparred with one of my stablemates, right? He was already pro then, but this is my man. He has his own podcast show too. His name is Derrick Romain. He's from Elizabeth, New Jersey. Great southpaw. He was ranked number 7 as a middleweight. He lost to the former world champion Quincy Taylor. But I sparred Derrick Romain, kicked my ass. I kept walking into his left hand. I didn't get away from it. He was bringing it. I was trying to move to the correct side. He said, "No, come back over the hook." I said, "Bang!" But I got over there. He keep hitting me with that same shot. So it was son, you keep walking into his straight left hand. I said, "Well, how do I get away from him?" He said, "Go back to the right." I said, "But when I want to fight, he goes to hit me with the right hook." He said, "We're trying to keep away from both of them." So what I actually did, right? I started studying the best southpaw in the world at the time.
Okay.
That was Purnell.
Purnell, yeah.
Okay.
So what I started doing, I started studying Purnell. And so now I'm watching Purnell. You want to study the southpaw, watch Purnell. Or Marvin Hagler. That's right. So I'm watching what I started doing, right? In the first 5 southpaws in my career, my boxing career, I beat until I got the win.
Okay.
Right? And I knocked out 2 of them. I started fighting southpaws the way that Purnell fought orthodox fighters.
Wow.
And I used that, and I was beating on.
And what way was that?
Huh?
What did he do? What did he do?
It was the way that he stepped on a jab. He would time your jab and come right over the top. When you get ready to jab, like I'll show you how Ghandi stand in southpaw stand. When they go to jab, this is what he would do.
He was catching them before
timing every time. And then when he delivered that shot twice and then stab one to the body, and when they do this, he come back with a hook. Come back with a hook. My jab just said it. Come back with a hook. I just started learning that and picking up everything Purnell did. And then at the same time, it made me start mastering my defense. So he's working on that now, being more of a setup defensive fighter than just getting there and bang. Because honestly, people will be like, "Damn, yo, you was in some rough fights. You was man. See you in some big fights." But look how I still talk. Thank Allah. Because a lot of my guys that I did come up with, guys I'm with all the time, every day. You like, "What you say, bro?" Yeah. And you know. And people want to joke about that sometimes. I mess with them because I can do that, but I don't see it as a joke because those my brothers. Like, you know, I won't mention their names, but they my brothers and I love them. You know what I'm saying? Because we all came up in boxing together in the late 80s, early 90s and stuff like that. You know, But yeah, I know some guys, man. You can't understand a word they saying.
Yo, man, getting hit is not natural, bro. That's not natural getting hit in the head all the time, man. It's like
my mom hates it.
How could she not? How could
you don't like it? You don't like it? You don't like boxing? Have you ever been to a match?
No, I haven't. I don't think I've
Me neither, but I'm going to my first one.
Really?
Yeah, so we should be fighting. We're looking at July, the prediction in July. If not, it's going to be 2 fights, one in June and one in July. But if the
one in July is probably going to be
we'll probably do the one in July. Yeah.
And that'll be how many fights?
We're trying to get one May 10th right now. We made a couple phone calls. We have May 10th. We have May 31st.
That's my birthday, 1st. Man. You gotta have it on my birthday.
We have June 1st, June 21st at the Prudential, and the one in July. I don't really know the date, but yeah, we try to stay consistent.
That's great. Go ahead.
Coach, I have a question.
Yes.
How long, or what's the age you can stay into boxing until it really starts to take effect on your body? Because my dad, his dad boxed, but then my dad boxed, and of course he would teach me how to do things here and there. They want me to teach my son to box, but I feel like if I teach him to box, I need something like that. But like a chance.
That's the only way you can see. Only way you can watch it.
That's a big compliment. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
But my fear is the like
your mom. Fear.
Yeah. But that's with anything, because I'm ready to spike up this fall. But like, what's the age that it really?
It's not. Listen, it's really not. It's this sport. All right. You play basketball, you play football, you play baseball, you play soccer, you play tennis. You don't play boxing. This is an individual sport. And like Ghandi just said a minute ago, he understands that. And I will say, Ghandi is out of my fighters, he's the most determined, and he although he's talented, his determination is more than his talent right now. As soon as those get right there,
he's going to pop.
I can tell you, he's going to be a real problem for anyone in the world, right? I'm not about to call no names out, but I'm saying anyone in the world at that time. Once his experience come into his determination, then he's going to be a problem. But as far as your son, like, you're as a mom, right? Because I trained my son. And his mother, not my baby, And I get it. It's just a mother's thing. It's not wrong with that. You're just being a mom. But as a young man, that can hinder him. So, I remember once, my son busted his knee up in his mother room, and he started crying. I said, that's what my baby on his knee up. So when he busted his knee up, he got up and looked at me, another time. So it wasn't his name, was his elbow. He hurt his elbow. Daddy, this and that. I said, all right. Keep calm down. He's crying. So crying, and I said, all right, calm down. So I said, you all right? You ready? All right, let me see it. We put some water on it. Let's put some rocks on it. All right? And put a Band-Aid on it. All right? Sit there. You all right? I said, yeah, I'm all right. All right. Let's sit there. You see the other kids playing. All right, Daddy, I'm ready to go back and play. Nah, you still hurt. No, Daddy, I want to go back and play. He only cried because his mother made it. So I'm relating that to this sport of boxing. As a mom, by nature, you're scared for your but you got to let your baby go to be the man that he's going to become. You don't want to hinder him. Because I have to tell sisters, and we laugh about this in the gym, I get women bringing me their sons all the time. And they'll say, my baby, my baby, my baby. And the first thing I ask them, right, I say, listen, as your man, would you want a mama's boy? Exactly. So why you create one?
But when is it too late though?
Yeah. So don't create one.
When is it too late? I think once you start once your body, like when your body is on a decline, you know when you feel good and you know when you don't. So it really just depends on the person. Right?
Yeah, it really
just depends on the person.
We have a guy named Sal Mami. God rest his soul. Remember Sal Mami? He fought up until he was 65 as a professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, style mommy. Yes, and was women's butt too still. Even though he got a lot of losses, he got a lot of wins. 65 years old. God rest his soul. He just passed about 3 years ago at like 72. Style mommy from New York.
But fighting, you gotta love fighting.
You gotta love it.
You gotta love it.
Yeah.
Because there's no other way to play because you don't have no teammates.
Yeah.
It's you, man. You just gotta love it.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's why it's it is the loneliest sport. It is.
A lot of things you can't do. You know what I'm saying? And when you have that special person that you with, and she wants to slide up, you want to kick her to the
You can't do it, bro.
There's a fight coming up. Stay on that side of the bed. It ain't happening. And she's mad with you, and you like, baby, you'll be happy when you want to listen. You got one of two things. You want me to get it in, or we get it in now, and now you see me all knotted up and beat up, or you want me to win this fight. And then, all that energy I got to, she's like, okay. I'll wait for that. So that's basically what you got to explain to your woman at the time, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is.
And how old are you?
I'm 28. Yeah, my birthday was 2 weeks ago.
What's the area?
Wow.
But how great is it though to be able to retire and then to do still what you have been passionate about, within the youth and when you first started with the youth, how did you even first begin that to have that? Because I saw you at home with the young boys teaching them how to box. And I'm like, okay, little kids, okay.
I mean, honestly, I was working in the court system, with the chief judge, and then our great mayor, Ras Baraka, came to the courts and told Judge Pratt, she said, listen, I know he's your right-hand man, but I need him. She's like, what do you mean? He's like, I need your right-hand man. I'm starting this boxing program in the city of Newark. He's the only guy I know that knows boxing the way he knows boxing, and he's the only guy I trust. And I need him to run boxing. So I'm like, okay. So I'm telling you, they both debate over me. I'm like, well, I ain't got no stake in this one.
You just fought the toughest dudes on the planet, man. Come on now.
So I'm standing between the judge, standing between the chief judge of the city of Newark and the mayor. And they're debating over what I'm going to do. I'm like, okay. So then he said, listen, this is what I need him to do. And she said, you making this so hard because if I try to offer him this kind of money or that kind of money, he loves boxing, so that's a fight for me. He said, oh, well, this is what I'm offering. And I said, Judge, I love you, right? I love you, right? I said, and I'm going to have you at all the fights. She just hugged me and she said, go ahead. So now that they do what you're supposed to do. So that's what we started with, just Border Street Recreation as our first gym. Now we got 3 other gyms, JFK, and we have Rotundo in North.
Oh, okay.
We got 3 gyms.
My nephew's a trainer.
Yeah?
Named Aaron Watson.
Your nephew just came to bring your kids. Yeah, it was good. I knew your nephew when he started. He just brought a kid to spar one of our kids about 2 weeks ago. He's a good trainer.
Yeah, man.
And he's a good guy.
Yo, he was a good fighter till he got his eye messed up.
Yeah, I remember when he got his eye messed up.
Yeah, I've been playing.
He came up after me and my brother.
Yeah, that's my nephew, man.
Yeah, that's why I small one.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a good guy. He comes by my demo almost every week.
Yo, man, I want to come by the gym. I want to come by.
You guys are invited, man. We're open, man. We always try to let the ladies come in too and like, listen, you want to do a workout? Come on and get it.
I fight a little some weight.
Yeah, come on in and do the workout, baby.
One belly shot, yeah.
I just know. I mean, my father taught me.
One belly.
I know how to fight, man.
I know you know how to fight.
I know
she know how to fight. You gotta get a mad though. You gotta get a mad though.
Bars. Come on. I don't know orthodox or something, but I know.
He
stole my hair.
You know what's funny? Honestly,
I don't like playing.
You know what's real funny? You know that it is actually easier to train women than it is to train men.
Really? Well, because you pay attention.
That's exactly
You pay attention.
It is.
And when one get hit.
It is. It's it's not that the women don't want to
But
get
he
hit.
does. Ghandi pays attention.
No, Ghandi has learned to pay attention.
Oh, you had to learn.
Ghandi has learned to pay attention. Well, you know why? Ghandi, no, don't get me wrong. Ghandi's an intelligent guy, right? But he learned. these dudes know, because what they show me, him, Coach Nas, Coach Wally, Coach Eddie, this stuff really been in his working for me in the gym. Mm-hmm. But out of all the guys, he is the most humble. So he's coachable when he's humble. Because a humble guy will take the time and say, I don't know nothing, I want to learn. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. However, most men got a macho ego.
You already know what
I got guys will bring me their sons. Oh, well, I was teaching them a little bit. Oh, you fought people? Oh, no, I ain't fought, but you know, that street stuff don't want to get. You want to get your son killed.
Yeah, he hurt. But he Aries job with them all. He already feel like he already know everything. He already know everything. He think he know everything.
And we think we know everything. But we recognize when we don't.
Okay.
And we do this.
He does. Yeah.
All right.
He does. And so
all that out, man.
With the women are right. When you start training them, they're like
paying attention.
Like this, it's just like that. How do I jab? Like this, just like that. Mm-hmm. This is why you bring the jab up. So I do like this. Now within 2-3 days, I have a woman doing a form perfectly with her punches, and I got these 15-year-olds over here who've been here for 3 weeks still can't throw a jab correctly. I'm like, what's going on? They'll get it eventually. Once I put them in the ring, they get knocked inside the head. All right, let me listen now. Mm-hmm. But the women come in off the rip.
But that ain't part of the training, right? Sparring. Like if I train.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to.
You don't have to. But when you want to, though.
Well, I want to speak hit. I will.
You want to
train my mother, then I'm the Scorpio, so I'm gonna want.
Oh Lord.
Well, we ain't got to do all that. I don't want to.
Scorpio, that's like what are you training for?
That's a good question right there.
I'm gonna get like I want to be able.
How you know you're gonna be able to do it? Though you might freeze up because you ain't never done that.
I'm not gonna fight.
Look at that. Freeze. She turns to a freezer. Freezer like a freezer, man.
That first you
gotta wait for somebody for you to feel pain, then you fight. You know, that guy that get hit, now he fight. Now you want to fight. Sometimes you may not make it past that first hit.
But that's not. But when I think learning things, it's just like shooting a gun. When we want to shoot a gun. Mm-hmm. I don't want to shoot a gun. I don't want to ever pick up a gun again. But when I pick up the gun, if I have to pick up the gun, I want to be able to do what I
know how to use it. Yeah.
So I learned how to shoot. I don't go around shooting a gun because I know how to shoot it. I want to make sure that when I get that, I want to be punching you all the time. I want that one punch.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question.
I want that, make sure I get that right spot.
I got one more question for you and I'm done, man. One more question for you, man. One of my favorite punches, I want to know, did Michael Spinks develop the rib hit? Who? I didn't remember seeing someone doing the bang, bang in the same combination. I never seen someone. That's why I'm asking the question.
Who guys do good body shots? You got like.
I'm talking about that shot right there where you hit the rib and hit and go up to the head. It's the same motion.
Yeah, no, that's a double hook. Like you can do it either that way from the body to the head, or you can do it from the head to the body.
But I seen Michael Spinks do that, and I thought, I had never seen anyone do that before.
But the more famous one, same shot, but it's just a reverse. Is Mike doing it or Vicky Ward?
Yeah.
Go to the head, to the body, and put you out.
Yeah.
Now, if you notice the real famous setup one was with Bernard Hopkins and Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah, that's what he caught him with that.
Yeah, I got caught with it 2 days in a row because I was Bernard's chief sparring partner for that fight. So I know what he was doing.
But that's what I'm trying to say. I think it was like, when I saw Michael Spinks do that, that was back in the day. So nobody was getting caught like that.
And what he was doing, he was studying the guys like Ezra Charles and the guys. Mm-hmm. Like I tell my guys, I tell Ghandi, go study the whole class. Like study, you want to see your footwork? Study, you want to get footwork good? Study Jersey Joe Walcott. Watch him. You want to be a pressure fighter? Study him, Henry and Hank Armstrong. Study him. You want to be a stick out who throw combination punches? That got a lot of women know how to move and dance. Study Sugar Ray Robinson.
I was going to say that too.
Yeah, study. You got to study these old school guys who, because they was the makers and shakers of what boxing is today. Muhammad Ali always said, "Look, I may be the greatest of all time, but pound for pound, the best fighter ever to exist is Sugar Ray Robinson. He said, I got my style from Sugar Ray Robinson. They no heavyweights dance on their toes, move around, and premium pop punches. No, that was unheard of. They was as strong as walking and bang guys out. Muhammad Ali said, I want to be pretty like Sugar. That's what he said. I want to be pretty like Sugar. Word. And he did.
So he wasn't
Right.
Who wants to, like you said, and like she said, who wants to come back?
This sport has its perks. Everybody wants to be around the champ. The women love when there's a handsome champ. Ray Robinson was handsome. Jack Dempsey was a handsome dude.
Word.
He was a handsome dude.
Word. And he was smart.
And he was smart.
I like that.
Smart.
Yeah.
Ghandzilla's educated.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Sugar Ray Leonard, handsome guy. Handsome dude. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think
last year in 2020?
Why do you think Floyd started his name off as Pretty Boy?
Yeah. Yo, I just think that Larry Holmes had the best jab I've seen.
Yeah, very good jab.
You know, if you want to watch the
jab.
jab.
I would say the best. I would say one of the fastest for him.
He learned that from Ali.
Yeah. One of the strongest jabs I've seen,
Foreman?
No, was actually Ray Mercer's.
Oh, Ray Mercer. That Ray Mercer Foreman fight was incredible.
We always knew because we trained together, so we knew Ray had a real strong jab. But who just confirmed it for me? I just conversated with at a get together 3 weeks ago. Tim Witherspoon just told me, said, man, he was at the fight with my boy. I said, yeah, I came now. We was all training together. So I was there when you fought Ray because I was scared. I told Ray, don't let him hit you with that overhand right. Tim Witherspoon hit you with that overhand right. You wake up down in Mardi Gras somewhere. You know, but unbelievably, and Ray had a real strong jab and a real good chin.
Yeah, he got a big head too, man.
Oh, he could take a punch.
Yes, he could.
He could take
a big ass head.
Because Tim usually hit you back, and it's over. He hit Ray with it 3 times. Ray didn't even wobble. And then Tim, we was just all together, me, him, Bobby Ches, Chuck Wentler, Larry Holmes, Vito Entrepreneur, and we did a thing for Bobby Ches a couple of weeks ago, and me and Tim was just talking. He said, yeah, man. He said, one thing about it. He said, Ray jab. He said, man, that joke hit me with that jab one time. He said, it stunned me like a right. I was like, did I get him right? And so when he threw it again, and I caught it, it's like bent my whole arm back. Like, man, he said, I ain't realized Ray jab was from. I said, well, we knew Ray had. Ray, a lot of guys that Ray knocked out was from the jab. And that's serious.
Ray fought a lot of the best too, man.
He did.
So the extra hardness in the gloves comes from all the rappers.
No.
How?
No.
Oh,
you gotta learn how to punch.
No. The rapping is actually, because I rap his hands. The rapping is actually to protect.
Okay.
These bones back here mostly, because these are the most brittle. Right? This right here, it gives strength and stiffness to the wrist. We don't put anything hard. You can't even put tape past right here.
And they gotta look at them.
Yeah, no tape is right now. Yeah, they watch me wrap his hands, and they watch it. So I have a certain type of gauze I use to make sure I protect his hands, that he can really let it go when he needs to let it go. And he's not coming up close my hands, So I developed the way, because I see how my hands are still intact. This right here is what I cracked in the U.S. Nationals years ago, and ever since then I started putting padding and wrap my hands. So I never really had a bad problem with my hands over the years. Guys like Floyd and hands, their hands are messed up. My little brother, the guy I call my little brother, Maurice Harris, who's the youngest guy to ever fight Larry Holmes. Maurice's hands is messed up. But this is why I tell my guys, listen, take care of your hands, even in the gym. Because a lot of times guys get more hurt inside sparring when they do an actual fight.
Most definitely.
Yeah. They get hurt when like when you see the guys get messed up from in speech impediments, a lot of times it's coming from too much of trying to prove to everybody in you the neighborhood king in your hood by you getting ready for a big fight, and you lose the fight inside the gym. Because the sparring is just too hard. You know what I'm saying? Sparring is supposed to be practice. But that's why sometimes as a coach and as a person who has experience, If a certain guy want to spar with Ghandi, I know Ghandi can beat him in sparring or hurt him, but he wants to spar with Ghandi, and they keep asking. They're trying to prove something in the gym. Mm-hmm. We're not sparring.
Nah, yeah.
Then they can go around, it's okay, he's scared to spar, but I don't care. I don't care about that. I don't care, and that's what you got to know. We're not scared to spar you. But one thing for sure, if he gets into something rough, he's going to have to check it.
Yeah, exactly.
I know that's right.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right. So much sense.
That's how it's going to go. And that's why we work on guidance for the way it's supposed to go. He ain't going to be in no rough stuff just to prove something. We don't need to prove nothing to why I'm trying to prove something to the neighborhood. We trying to prove something to the world. Right? And that's the ideology that we keep moving his career forward. We trying to prove something to the whole world. And at the end of the day, we can have a decent conversation with his mother.
Yeah.
And while they're out in he's paying for $4,000 dinner.
That's
So that's how it should be. And you know what like Sister Dawn was saying, with the mayor put me in this position. I didn't understand that. I know he know a lot of people, right? But he chose me. And I think he chose me more because of my state of mind dealing with youth and dealing with, you know what I'm saying, dealing with young men like Ghandi. And the trust value, because the trust value is, in this sport is very, very serious. Like, you know, you got, like, it's like this, right? And I've said this before. If they come to me and say, listen, man, you know, we give them like, we'll pay Ghandi this amount of money. We'll give you $50,000 to help lose.
What?
Oh yeah, they do stuff like that. I'm like, okay, hold on a second. Hey, God, they won't offer us $100,000 to use what we to lose. What we doing? And what you doing? Hold on, man. I'm just. We're gonna take this money. All right. He said $300,000 because my thing is I'm the fighter at the end of the day. Not with the man. I can't do anything for money because you know what? It was done to me.
Really?
Yeah. I fought Winky Wright. I saw the contract. It said $30,000. I found out 4 years later, Don King really paid me $80,000. So what happened to my $30,000?
Yeah, that's what the trust stuff. That was like notorious what boxing and all is about, you know.
And that's why I promise I would never let that happen to any fighter that I ever dealt with.
How do you lose a fight?
As far as what you mean?
How do you intentionally lose a fight, man?
Intentionally?
Yeah.
Well, a guy who's trying to lose a fight?
Yeah, like how do
some guys take fights just for money. They need a couple bucks.
So you know you're gonna get knocked out that day, huh?
Yeah, listen. Sometimes $10,000, $20,000 is worth it.
Wow.
I mean, if that pay $10,000, you know, he know he ain't in shape. I'm gonna try him now. If he wins and he gets $10,000, still gotta give him money.
Yeah.
Even if he beats you.
Well, we all come to the conclusion that 2 undefeated fighters is the best fighter you can get because neither one know how to lose. So you're gonna get the best out of each one. Am I correct?
Sometimes it depends. That's like we said it earlier about boxing is different. You just saw Staniosis and Boots last week.
Yeah,
both undefeated.
Yeah,
but Staniosis, he was out of his league.
He was out of his league. 15, 16 fights he had wasn't enough.
No,
not for that class.
But it was hard to turn down that offer.
Yeah,
and he earned off of like 2.3 million, something like that. He ain't made $400,000 in one fight. So it's hard to say, you know what, this 2.3 million may not come back around again. I'm gonna take this fight now. Now here's the thing. What's good for him is that it should have been his coaching, but he said, nah, that's enough. He said
that was him that said it? I thought the coach told him to do that.
He quit.
I was giving them credit, man.
I know him. He gonna keep it. It's my job. If it's too much to say, Trent, that's enough. And he may coach. He may argue. I know it,
but you know it's enough, though.
Trent, we come back another day. Yo, I gotta save you for another fight.
I thought coaches did that because I said they didn't want to see him get destroyed.
They had the last say. Well, I mean, they had to say so. They told him to arrest. So he was like, you see him in the corner. He's like, nah.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, but the thing is, that's the coach's responsibility to know. Know your fighter. Know when there's too much. Know when he's not gonna be able to recover. You gotta wait. You gotta know that, and that comes with experience. Once again, You got to weigh all of that out. All right. He ain't landing no shot. He ain't putting no wear and tear. Now, if there's wear and tear on this guy too, okay, I'm going to go back with him now. You got to do a little bit more than that. But if he just wearing you out and you ain't getting nowhere back on him, nah, champ.
Could you lose your fighter like that too?
As far as what?
Like if I'm one of your fighters and I gotta tell you I had enough, how do I feel about you? Like as a manager. Like
if my fighter came back to the corner and said that he has enough, and I mean clearly I can see if he's happy. That means that you no longer want to fight. If you no longer want to fight, I'm gonna say to you, that depending on what's going on in the ring, right? Listen, are you sure that this is a decision? Because this decision you're making right now is going to alter your whole career. You're not actually losing this fight, or if you are losing this fight, yeah, you lose this fight, but you still got a chance. But if you really beat down, look, champ, I agree with you. I was going to tell you, when you came out this corner, I'm thinking about stopping this fight now. And it's not an easy decision to make. And I've seen guys like, let's take Deontay Wilder, for instance, right?
Good.
Why he get rid of Mark Breeden?
That was my next question. Golly. Because it's like, yo, that was the best he ever looked.
Mark Breeden told him, all right, champ. No,
you done.
It's over. It's done. No, let me go out on my shield. What, you get killed? For what?
And that's
one time. I'm saving you grace, and you ain't quitting. I'm stopping the fight. I'm the chief second in the corner. I'm stopping the fight. After that, he fought Mark.
And never was the same again.
Never was the same again. And listen, I'm gonna tell you, like me and Mark, cool. We got the same barb and everything. I invited him to come down. He came. He's a real good dude, right? Best amateur nominated. The best amateur ever.
Yeah, best amateur fighter
ever.
I watched his whole career. I think success got to him as a pro.
Yeah. Well, I was sparring the guy he lost to, Aaron.
Yeah.
And, as a matter of fact, Aaron was at the show we was just talking.
And that's what you got to be careful, man. You know, all the women and the drugs and all that.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's going to change us. I ain't just saying like that. I'm just saying that if you look at the downfall of the fight,
even that.
Look at my man. What's my man name?
I'm pretty
all messed up now. Floyd's boy.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? What's the one that got all the mouth? It's all messed up now.
Oh, you talking about Adrian Broner?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A classic case of talent wasted.
Yeah, definitely talent wasted.
A classic case, bro.
Wasted. Yeah, and you know, Adrian was truly.
No, he was really gifted, man. He was a good fighter, man.
He was talented, right? Like, here's the difference in the character.
Mm-hmm.
Floyd is arrogant.
Yes.
Adrian Broner is ignorant.
That's it.
He's ignorant.
That's it.
And because the stuff that he do, like, you got to keep your dignity. Like, you got you know, if you're gonna get money off of making people hate you, don't make your own people hate you. Like Floyd, people still love our people. We still love Floyd. We know they're arrogant little.
Yeah. Well, Floyd like Joy. The great ones, they're gonna be arrogant, bro.
You let them hate you and they gonna pay you. That's what Floyd did. The only thing, and Floyd didn't admit that. He got that from Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali said, y'all gonna hate me, but y'all gonna pay me. But guess what? I'm still gonna teach and spread love. Because when Muhammad Ali did things, he didn't go after race. He was knocking down racial barriers. He was going against racism, period, for anybody. Because he had a lot of white people that was bad. But he'd tell you to your face, your white people over here do this, that, the third. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody over in Vietnam ever called me nigger or anything like that. He's a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
So these guys, when they say they better than Muhammad Ali, like, you know, lost your mind. That man was a true champion, humanitarian.
Bigger than boxing.
I don't care who you are, you ain't never leveled up to Muhammad. Even you know, I respect Larry Holmes a lot, but he thinks he was better than Muhammad Ali. Like, you beat that man when he was way out of prime, way old, and as a character. Like, boxing is a mano a mano sport. So they want to just stick to boxing, or just what happens in the ring. No, what happens in your whole life, how you carry yourself, how you live yourself, how you walk. The champ gotta walk and gotta speak a certain kind of way.
Yeah.
You gotta carry yourself, and that's what they was working on building Mike into. You know what I'm saying? Mike, people love Mike because of his brutality. Because brutality is my America.
Yeah, but I mean that's what they love. Man, they always like that. They love that.
You can be a slick fighter.
But they want the blood and guts.
They want to see knockouts.
They want the blood and guts.
They want blood like that. Why do you think the UFC is doing so well?
I don't like the UFC. First time I got a chance to watch it, the dude got his leg broke in front of me, man. I'm like, I ain't ready for that. I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that. Even when I watch football, I don't want to see the replay or something like that. You know, like who wants to watch somebody get their thing broke? I watch it again, and the dude broke his leg and I'm like, I don't want that. That's not what I'm looking for, you know. You know, but it's
like boxing is a
skill, man. Skill in there, man.
And you like they say in boxing, you don't hear this in UFC. They hear this in boxing. Skills pay the bills.
Yeah, yo,
right? That's what they say, champ, right? Skills pay the bills, and they do, because you can see the difference in the levels of fighters. You can see the difference in the level of Pernell Whitaker.
Yeah.
Very skilled.
Yeah.
Sugar Ray Leonard, very skilled. Roy Jones, very skilled.
Beautiful fighter.
James Lights Out Tony, Bernard Hopkins. I'm thinking, but when it comes to mind games in the ring, that's Bernard.
Yeah, and Floyd.
Yeah, you told me what he did with you.
Yeah, Bernard is like when I really started learning about how to set up some stuff and not letting the guy do certain things or get in his head and stuff. That's when me sparring all those like 600 rounds with Bernard.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's the guy. You know, it was exactly. I've never seen him get away with your problem with everybody. You and me were the same age. When I seen him, I said, "So this dude from Philly, they all types of hell." So I got invited to come to camp with him to help him with his first world title against Savannah Mercado. So I went to camp and said, I want to spar this dude, see what he works. Now I have already been spar with Charles Murray and Mr. Bramble and them guys, right? So I said, yeah, let's see what this guy about. Went up there, they said, oh, you got twin. You know, they call me the fast one because my hands was my brother, the hard puncher. So it said, fast one, you gonna go in first. So I went in, I'm letting punches go. He ain't throwing punches back. He just moving, getting ready, grabbing me, holding me. I'm like,
this Bernard?
Yeah, this Bernard. Second day, did it again. Right? So I'm like, man, I'm hitting with certain stuff. Third day, he did it again. I'm like, yo, man. So my brother saying, hey, man, no, I thought he was going to be this and that, right? Bro. He said, we ain't going to spar Thursday, that Friday. He said, we're going to spar Friday. So, all right. I'm looking to some challenges. This guy is over there in the corner wrapping his hands up real slow when we come and say, what's going on? He called us twin. So what's going on, twins? He said, no, what's going on, Bernard? He said, listen, you know, y'all been punching on me for 3 days. Today I'm going to throw some punches back. I'm like, all right. What you saying that for? That's when I knew, this is 1995, what kind of guy he was. He studied us for 3 days. Just watching how we threw, how fast we was, what was our favorite punches, how we step, how we move, how we slip. He watched all of that. And honestly, for the rest of that camp, I had to step my game up to keep from getting my ass kicked.
Wow.
Seriously. But it made me a better fighter.
True.
It made me a better fighter. It made me a better fighter. Because this dude, when he fake or feint at you, it ain't just for no reason. He feinting to see how you cover up, and he know what's open and where to hit you at.
Wow.
That's the type of guy Bernard is. That's why Bernard is the legend he is. That's why he is the oldest guy in the history to ever win a world title. That's why he's the longest reigning middleweight champion in the history to break Marvin Hagler's record. He's that type of guy.
Bernard's that dude, man.
He's that kind of guy. He's that kind of guy. And so, you know, I start learning, okay, you got your ass whooped this camp. Next time, because, you come back, can't want me to fight Williams out. Yeah, I'm coming. I'm different now a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm doing stuff and they just running into stuff and I'm doing certain things. I'm catching up with certain things. He's smiling, backing up like okay. He's like, he learning. The De La Hoya fight, he called me twice for that same box out 2 days in a row. And third day, he went to go to That's right there. That ain't there either. I know what you're trying to do. So that's the kind of guy he is. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of guy Bernard is. But what happened is that they had called in the USBA champion for the sparring for the De La Hoya fight, and they called me 2 weeks later, right? And Nazim, Coach Nazim, God rest his soul, may Allah be pleased with him. Nazim said, he said, yeah, man, I said, yeah, man, I heard y'all give up like De La Hoya. He said, yeah, he said, you was sparring with De La Hoya, right? I said, yeah. He said, man, would you come down here, man? I said, where y'all? He said, we're back down in South Beach in Miami. He said, man, this dude ain't doing. I said, what's going on? He said, he got this USBA guy. He got there. He said, he can hold on. I'm going to get the guy's name. He said, he ain't going to hold on to that title long. He said, he down here, he ain't giving X no convo. X is beating him all around the ring. He said, how he got the USBA middle of the title, I don't know. I said, all right, when y'all send the plane, he said, we'll go get it right now. We'll be down here tomorrow. So I flew down to Miami and stayed in camp with him for like 2 months, about 11 weeks.
How's the pay when you do that?
$1,000 a week.
Oh, okay.
$1,000 a week.
Okay.
You pay cash. You don't pay for nothing.
You don't pay for no food, no.
Unless you want to. Yeah,
wow.
They feed you. They do everything. Oscar paid $15 a week.
Wow.
If he see you buying food or your own, he get mad. You know, what do you want? You want lobsters? You want steak? I mean, what do you want? He's a funny guy like that. It's, funny story. If I run into Oscar might get mad at me about this, right? We all in camp. It's myself. We came with Oscar for the first Shane Moses fight.
Okay.
It's me, Moses James, Tenito Drake, and Golden Johnson, and Virgil Hill's younger brother. Right?
Okay.
You remember Virgil?
I remember Virgil.
His younger brother. We're all in camp to spar with for Oscar. So the main 2 guys that Oscar chose to start sparring with more for the Shane Moses fight was me and Virgil Hill's younger brother, right? And so now that weekend came up, and so we in camp. We in Big Bear.
Okay.
Is that serious training?
California, right?
In California.
Mm-hmm.
We're in Big Bear. So now Oscar's after me and Oscar we locking in. We really banging out. I'm just watching his left hook because Oscar got a left hook.
He was doing tutorials for that.
Okay. Left hook. Woo!
Yeah, it's all that.
Yeah. This left hook is hard. He got a hard left hook, bro. And that's what 18-ounce gloves on. His left hook is hard, bro. Like we fighting that 154. His left hook is more like a cruiser left hook. Ooh. Yeah, like that. It's hard. And so now Oscar, we just going in. Wow, going crazy. And the bell rings for the last round. He just stops out of nowhere. I'm still like this. He's like, yeah, great sparring, guys. Hey, listen, you guys want to go swing out and go get some pizza and go to the movie? I'm looking at him like, man, he's trying to kill us.
That's why he was the golden boy.
It's my treat, guys. Let's go. I said, yeah. All right, Judge said, yeah, we're going to the movie. Yeah, we can get out of camp. So now we all go home. We go to our rooms and stuff. We change, get dressed, you know what I'm saying? So we're going out to town. Because Big Bear's like up in the mountains. It's a resort up in the mountains. So we come down into LA. So we in these custom trucks, right? Custom made trucks. They gotta let us in through the back door. Because there's a crowd outside of the Oscar De La Hoya's gonna be there. So we like, okay, we go through the back door. So you know what movie we went to watch? Remember Gladiator?
Yeah, the first one.
First Crow. We all sitting together watching. Oscar's right here. Moses James was next to me. Canelo Drake over here. Moses James. No. Golden Johnson's right here. Canelo Drake over here. Virgil Hill's over here. Moses James sitting on the Oscar's right here. So we watching the movie, right? Now, if you remember how serious that movie was, I'm thinking about I think about it now because we fighters. Gladiator.
This is what they were. That was
right. And how it ended, God is my witness. When them lights came up, I was next to me crying. Seriously. And I swear, he was crying. I was like, I felt it, don't get me wrong. I felt the choke up in the throat. Ain't letting y'all see that. I was crying, man, this messed up. That should have ended like that. That's so sad. And you understand it. I was like, wow. I was like, okay.
knock a dude out tomorrow.
So when you was asking my chant as a Ghandi about, how you get like that, this is what boxing is, man. We human. We have that side of us. At the same time, we have that side like, hey, you won't go there. I'm not a better coach on my knowledge. I can't be a better coach. You got to be able to look at certain things. Like if we talk about defense, so who's the best defensive fighter? Well, you got Pernell Whitaker, you got Woody Pepper, you got Nicolino Loche.
Word. Most people don't even know who that third person is.
Yeah. Nicolino Loche. You don't even, those guys don't even know who this guy stand right here.
He'll stand
like
right here.
Right here.
In front of you.
And make you miss.
Wow.
You can't even hit him. Just moving his head just like this. And you can't even hit him. And you like, So I make my guys look, watch, see what he's doing. I don't necessarily want you to just go out and try that until you practice about 1,000 times. But that's how we get better doing it. We learn how to take guys out of the element. You know what I'm saying? And so, like Gandhi said earlier, he's learning that boxing is a mental thing. Right?
Was you a fighter when you was a kid?
Not at all. I've never gotten into a fight outside of boxing.
Wow.
Yeah.
What made you want to do it though?
So I used to be like a footballer. I used to be a diehard footballer. I ran track. I also wrestled in high school. And then after high school, this is when I first graduated high school. I was invited to an amateur fight, and then I just saw how like everything was. I saw like the aura that the boxers walked with. I saw, just the swag of everything. I saw the fights, how sharp their hands were, how fast they were. And I told Eddie, my strength and conditioning coach, because my strength and conditioning coach and my former boxing coach was at the same gym. So I told Eddie to talk to my old boxing coach. I was like, yeah, tell him I want to do this. Like I want to do this. And then that's when Eddie talked to him. He told Eddie that it's going to take a lot of blood, sweat, tears, sacrifice, long days. And I said, like, I'm ready for it. I was 18 at the time. And then I was like, I'm ready for it. And ever since then, I've never stopped going to practice. So,
wow.
Yeah, I've never stopped. So,
you ever been hurt before? I'm talking about like injured before you started boxing.
No.
So you didn't. So you was a healthy guy.
Very.
That's very important.
Wow. It is.
I had a knee injury like when I was 15, so I was all up. Some things got changed.
Yeah,
you never had any injuries.
Nah,
great.
No injuries. I try to keep my mind sharp, body sharp, everything just at
So the canvas is good.
Yeah. I try to keep everything in order. I have a lot of amateur fights, and then in 2023. I'm professional, and we're now. Fast forward.
Yeah, well, so
right before that.
What's your timetable about him being 28? What's your timetable? Like, what are y'all looking for as far as like top 5?
We're looking to close in on the world title by time.
Okay, that's what I meant.
By time. We're looking to close in on the world title.
Okay.
I mean, and my thing is, if they offer world titles tomorrow, we're not taking.
Cool. Like he ain't fighting Poochie in this tomorrow.
No.
Okay.
We've been offered to come to camp for Boots. So we're around Boots all the time because we got.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Boots train fighters in Southeast and got guys.
Yeah, Boots shows love.
He shows love.
No,
we're in the same vessel with Boots. So Boots is cool dude.
You got a face of a fighter though. In other words, you don't have no protruding.
I'll take that.
No. Like some dudes got got the protruding eyebrows where they get cut easily.
So I don't have the face of a fighter.
You mean a winning fighter? Okay.
I'm just saying, some fighters are bleeders and cutters.
That's the thing. Like even with like down to the nitty gritty and everything dealing like with Ghandi. Even when I put Vaseline on his face, I kind of moisturize it into his skin and try to moisturize the Vaseline into his skin. You know what I'm saying? Because if your skin is stiff and rigid, you can cut it.
That's great because he has a beautiful skin.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like they're taking care of him.
Yeah.
And you got. I would honestly say that you gotta really want to do this sport to do it because you gotta think the middle of January.
Out there walking out jogging.
You jog, and You out there, you jogging past.
Nobody with you.
You jogging past penguins. Polar bears is out there, 'cause that's how cold it is.
It's cold out there.
No,
it's cold.
And it's only you. It's only you. It's only you, man. No teammates, man. Only you, man. That's
but the good thing is just what you just said is that it's only you that get that comfort.
And this thing been going on since the beginning of time. We've been fighting for it's the oldest sport ever.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, like we was talking about Dominique's son. He always getting in scuffles, so it's like he might be a perfect candidate to start boxing. You know, he's always, you know.
What he said before, everybody's not a boxer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody's not a boxer. It's not that, and my grandson is not a boxer.
How you know that?
Told me.
Oh, well, yeah, she said he told him.
See, I actually didn't know that I was a fighter until I actually got not to be a boxer until I got into it. Now, I knew that in the streets, you know what I'm saying, I could fight, you know what I'm saying, because I fought. And I actually beat guys, even when I was in Job Corps, we could speak for boxing. I was 17 in Job Corps and got to a fight with a 24-year-old guy from the Bronx. And I beat him up kind of bad to where if I wasn't 17, Edison police was going to lock me up. But they found out he was 24 when I was 17, he was worried about the lawsuit. So
They let you go. They let you
go. Get him out in the handcuffs. I sent the guy to the hospital with dish ripped open, so they had to stitch all of the stuff. But so I didn't think of myself as a fighter. I love to have fun. You know, I just want to have fun. But what happened is that me and my brother Eric, we had a older brother who was the bully of the neighborhood. We had to live with this dude.
Wow, that's not it.
God rest his soul. You know, my older brother's soul. But we had to live with this dude. And he didn't treat us no different than he treated the dude out there.
So we
sitting there watching TV together, you know, he comes sit between us, pushes us to the side, turns the channel, why we there?
Wow, man.
And we tried to jump, we couldn't beat this dude. The first time I ever saw a UFC style fight, I saw my old brother get into a fight. Up at Gosberg High. Yeah, he got into a fight. And I used to think when his boys would like, you're about to come fight. So I was thinking boxing. I'm thinking boxing. I'm like, grab a guy, I had fun, help him, pick him up, those. I'm like, what the heck, guy? What is this dude?
Yeah, but then, you know, those type of dudes shouldn't be out there, man. It's like, you know, it's like I seen a dude, they ready to fight, and he just chopped the dude right across the throat. It's like, wait, where's the fight at, yo, man? What was that? Is that right? Is that right to do it?
That was the fight.
No, it was the fight, man. That was terrible.
That's how you get me up.
Huh?
That's how you be yelled up?
Yeah.
Man.
Trying to jump him, man. We couldn't beat this dude.
So did you train in order to beat him up? Did you learn how to box?
He just made them tough.
Nah, what happened is that when people, me and my younger brother, when people found out we was his brother, they go, nah, that's June brother. Those June brothers. But we like, I don't need him. I can fight. But it was, nah, you good, man. You good. So we never really got the chance after a while. Right? When we got in like high school, or when we was a little younger, you know how I was back in the day. Somebody's gonna try, I'm strong ball robber or something. No, don't do that. That's June brother, bro. You don't want to do that. And that's how I was going like, I don't need my brother. You know, that's how the attitude was. Then you good, little June? My name ain't Little June. That's how that was. And so then what ended up happening is that his brother started me boxing. And I love him to this day, named Malik Heavy Hooks, who was known in the
Guess he had a heavy hook, huh?
Malik Heavy Hooks is what they call him. So we started boxing, and then I took him to the gym after a while, and we started training. And then my brother Eric came and said, "No, man, you shouldn't." So then next thing you know, the boxing coaches got excited. And these two guys seem like they can fight. We got two brothers, and that's big in boxing. We got two brothers. That's why it's Charles. That's that can box. Like, yo, we can push them. So we ended up training. Then we started seeing our names everywhere. We started beating, winning tournaments, and we won the Golden Gloves together. Went to the U.S. Nationals. We was there with Floyd Mayweather, Tony Charles, Fernando Vargas, David Reed, Robert Push-Up Frazier. We was there with all of them guys in 1993 U.S. Nationals. in Little Rock, Arkansas. And so, after that, we came back to New Jersey, signed contracts, turned pro. They paid him $10,000. They paid me $10,000. Gave me a car. Gave him a car. We started.
They always get a brother the car and instead of giving us cash. And
no, they gave us both.
They should have gave you more cash. Forget about the car.
Listen, I was like 24, 23, 24. $10,000 was cool. I was good with it. I was good with it. And the car.
What kind of car you get?
They gave. It was like a Buick, like a Buick Skylark or something like that.
All right.
That was the thing back then. That was the car.
Listen, I ain't have a car. I didn't care.
Yo. And 10 G's too, a car and 10 G's?
Yeah.
It was on and popping.
It was on and popping. So, yeah. So, I was with Jerry Cooney 2 weeks ago, and Jerry was like, nah. He said, I always wanted to ask you something. So, what's up? He said, why? He said, Newark had a lot of great fighters, but for some reason, they always fall down before they get to the big time. He said, you guys have, we should have been, he said, you had more Marvin Haglers. What happened? And I said, what I've seen is either drugs, streets, a woman, or a bad manager. Just want to
wow, man, that's a lot, man.
And that's what happens. And this is why, like I said, when I promise myself, when I deal with a fighter, I'm gonna make sure it's all about that fighter. It's all about, because I already know if I make sure that he eat, I should eat regardless. It's not gonna take the court. But it's about putting the work in and make sure taking care of your fighter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we want this fight right now. We'll come back to that one later. This is what we want right now. This is what we need to go. No, we don't want to do that. We'll go to somebody else. It ain't about you or me, my relationship.
Yeah, man.
It's about my relationship with him and making sure I'm doing what I gotta do for him. And this is what guys like. We had a guy who tried to approach. You get the guys. They don't know who you got, so they don't know as far as who's with you. Okay. Right? So they had a guy come in. He wanted to sign contract with me. So yeah. So I sat there and I read the contract. So Eric comes by. He's like, yeah, you can do this, and I can do that. And I said, yeah. I said, well, I will get a contract. It says that she wants to sign Ghandi to a contract for a year. I said, yeah, just give me a year. I want to show you what I can do. I said, here's the problem I have with that. You saying inside this contract he has to give you at least 3 fights in a year. I said, yeah, but he's going to be the inside. I said, you can't promise me that. I said, because you don't have your own promotion company. He said, no, but I deal with the promoters. Yeah, but you don't have your own promotion company. I said, so what happens is that the promoter pays you to get an opponent. And if I sign this contract, that means Ghandi has to give you at least 3 fights that year, no matter who you want him to fight. If I don't want him to fight certain guys, we got to, by the end of this contract, give you at least 3 fights. So you can be bringing my Ghandi in as an opponent. It's not what we do.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
So he just looks, and then I can see that while he like, oh shit. And I'm looking like, yeah. I said, so I'm like, yeah. I said, so thank you, but no thank you. I said, listen, I don't want over this contract. Sit down with the lawyer. He said, yeah, but I don't want to file for 5 years. I said, listen, he wants you to give him 6 fights. He's gonna pay you $15,000 for each fight, right? Build you up, and then he said for the USBA, you fight for the USBA title, you're gonna get $25,000. I said, now you don't want to sign for 5 years, but you don't just throw the contract away. You negotiate it. That's what contracts are made for. And this is what a lot of young guys don't understand. Now I don't like that contract. Just no. That contract I just talked about a minute ago. Heck, that was a throw in the garbage contract, right? They don't serve him. They don't serve that. I'm just going to give him a fight. I get a fight. I don't need to. This contract from Don King, there's money talking there. He's a promoter. He's not a manager. He's a promoter. So you're going to get fights, and sometimes they're going to be televised fights. That's what I'll do. I'll be looking for. You come talk that. Oh, we got a TV fight for him. This is guaranteed money for this kind of fight for him. Move all this to the side. Now we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about this. This is what we're having a conversation about. This is what we're seeing where we can put him in a position. That's how it's supposed to work. Managers want 33 1/3 of his earnings. Manager only deserves 33 1/3 of a fighter's earnings if that fighter don't have to work. You're paying all his bills, all of his
He's fighting only.
Yeah, the only thing he's doing is he's fighting, and you're supporting everything. That's when you deserve 33 1/3, and then of course he'll win that if he's doing all that. Right?
Yeah.
So if he was to sign a contract, and you know what I'm saying, and the fight they tell him getting 33 1/3, I would go to court if the guy tries to fight and want to give him the money. Yeah, it's a whole lot of money. So why does he deserve 33 1/3? He has to struggle. He has to work to prepare for fights and that. He doesn't provide training expenses. He doesn't provide sparring partners because we're doing all that.
Wow.
He's not providing all that. See, the manager I had deserved it. His name was Ziggy. That's why I started. Gave me the $10,000 and bought me and my brother cars. He has a training facility, ran pretty gym. We go to top-notch sparring. Kid named Mike Covington and Charles Murray. I spoke with Charles Murray and a few other top fighters. And my car broke down. He got the car fixed. He put me on a $500 a week, every 2 weeks stipend. So I'm getting $1,000 a month from him while I'm training. He deserves 33 1/3 because he's doing all of this. This is what a lot of these guys now.
Is that standard?
That's the standard.
That's not the third.
You got to take care of. How are you going to get the fighter to the level he got to work and train, and he ain't getting no rest time. If you want all that money, all right, he needs to be taken care of so he can get to that.
Well, so I'm saying, you're just telling me that there's contracts like that with the person still working and all that kind of stuff. Am I correct?
Some guys are under those kind of contracts. They don't know no better.
Wow.
There's a lot of them that's under that. And then what happens is that what the managers do, I expose it. I did it before because they got like, man, you know, some Italian guys got mad with me because I exposed it. What a lot of the guys do, right? They get a fighter under contract as a manager. And the promoter says, hey, I need an opponent. If you sign a contract with a manager for 33 1/3, you got to pay the manager and the corner people. And then I'm like, why? I don't like that because the manager only no.
The
manager, listen. I don't know why the manager, right, getting the whole 33 1/3, but the guys who slaving in the gym with the fighter only get 10%.
Of the 33rd?
No.
10% more added on to the 30?
They only get 10%. Period. You only know the manager
10% of the purse.
10% of the purse.
Wow.
That's it.
The boxer really got to pay a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
So my thing is like, I don't charge Ghandi for the management that I do and make the decisions. I know how to do it. I know who he's ready for, he's not ready for. And the manager don't really know who he's ready for because he ain't in the gym with him every day like that.
Wow, it's like you really blessed and got this guy, man. You know that?
That's great.
I know that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like that. They actually give a damn.
Yeah,
you know, because the tricks is all over the place.
It is.
It's all over the place.
Man, at the end of the day, anything dealing with entertainment, I'm trying to teach people this. I dealt with music. I have a son who had a record that went triple platinum. Really? And I showed, like, listen, son, I'm telling you this now. You know, you got guys hard-headed. He was hard-headed. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, son, listen. But, you know, you get, with anything that has money to come with it, right? You're going to have leeches and snakes wrapped around it. So if they don't have the time to get to the money, they'll attach themselves to the time, somehow, some way. So they can get part of the money or steal all of it, or steal most of it. You know what I'm saying? Or find a way to take it to court and get that from me to say I was right or lie. That's just the nature of a lot of corrupt business people. I hear from guys, you know, honest businessman is a broke businessman. Right. But the thing is, right, at the end of the day, I can live with myself. I went to Juma today and the email said, notice that most people, right, who are rich, right? And always been rich, and money's their thing. When that money go, or that money is no longer there, right? They kill themselves. They have destructive. They break down mentally, and the mental breaks down their body physically. They have stress attacks and heart attacks and all kinds of stuff because they have not been living a good life by doing right by people.
Yep,
and it's real. Now I've actually seen that, witnessed that with people. So I would never let money be my prime factor with dealing with anybody because I own me. I don't let money own me. I always said to myself, I'll never chase money. I always put myself in position. I make the money chase me. You're gonna want to come deal with me because of who I am. And that's really what it's about. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, that's good stuff right there, bro.
So that's basically, what I feel like. Honestly, I've been blessed to still be like this, and although I've been through what I've been through in them big fights, right? And I've been blessed like this so that I can be here.
Exactly.
One more question. I know you do that degree. What is there something other than boxing?
When it's food chains, like a lot of, I want to be in that field.
You didn't put no hair on your wings, though, right?
You said what?
You
on your wings, though.
Absolutely. I want to own franchises like that. That's really like what I'm into. Like 2 years ago, because I was trying to get a pro fight for like a long time, bro. I was trying to get a pro fight like 5 times. Every time something happened, like the opponent backed out 2 days before, the day of, the week of, and it was very, very discouraging. So I was looking into, I was actually looking, because my first degree is in criminal justice. So I was about to, I was about to either be a CO, detective, forensic scientist. I was looking at, things like that. And then I'm like, I'm going to give this one more go around. And then the 6th time, which was in July of 2023, it actually happened. So I haven't really been focused on what I wanted to do outside of boxing because I'm so zoned in on this. But I do think about often what I would do outside, like I just said, owning franchises, owning clothing brands, starting businesses. I really want to do that. Entrepreneur. Yeah. Okay. I really do want to be.
But you have a good confidence, though, man. I see it in you.
Thank you. I appreciate
good confidence,
it.
You know. So it's like you stay on the path, though, man. I think great things are for you, man.
Definitely. Thank you.
I see you seem like you could calm under pressure.
Yeah.
You seem like you got that in you, man. And I watch you fight. So I mean, sky's the limit, man.
Definitely, absolutely.
I expect to see a title fight, in a couple of years.
We're
gonna be in the stadium, man. I'm gonna be there, man.
You will.
With my crushed velvet suit on.
First fight I ever go to.
Yeah, man. It was great.
What is your next fight?
My next fight is hopefully May 10th in Philly. Yeah, we're working on that right now. Hopefully they give us a call back. Like usually, like people, like my coach sends my name, and then they're like, "Yeah, like we're gonna call you back." Never hear from them. So it's just like
You get a reputation already?
Yeah.
He has here right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You did work over there too. That's why they recognize it.
The hard part is just like always staying ready. Like that's the hard part. Because sometimes I want to go on vacation. I want to take a break.
But right now it's
this is bigger. Yeah, like this is bigger than that.
Well, you gotta be patient, man.
Yeah, I'll just hold off. Like
but
it'll
they
be
give
there.
you enough time to like get yourself. I mean, not that you stay ready. You don't have to.
Yeah,
But at the same time, do they give you enough notice?
The shortest notice I've ever received, I think, was maybe like 2 weeks. So they do give you,
Just 2 weeks enough?
That was in February. We fought February 1st, and we fought against February 15th.
We fought twice in February.
Yeah.
So you want to be busy, though, right? You want to be busy, right?
Yeah, you definitely do. I fought in March, and then I just recently fought in, like March. That was at the Robert Treat. So and
that's like kind of like there's no guys like Henry Armstrong. And I don't know if there ever be any guys like Henry Armstrong.
Fighting every week, every other
27 times in 1 year, knocked out 26 opponents.
Yeah.
Wow.
that's crazy.
Trying to feed his family.
He's the only guy in history to be the junior middleweight champion, the welterweight champion, and the junior welterweight champion all at the same time. He kept going up and down and waiting to defend his title.
That's crazy.
Hold up, I got one more for you. He's the only guy in history to defend his world titles 5 times in 1 month. And those were 15-round fights.
Damn.
Hank Armstrong.
Wow.
They don't even talking about that.
Yeah, he was a beast.
I'm glad that you got back into it. I'm glad that you are helping our children, young boys and young ladies. They out in the streets getting something really productive and some discipline because it's discipline. Are you gonna do the same? Do you work with them in the gym with the kids?
Me more. Yeah, I am.
He's busy. He's real. Yeah, he's real busy. So, but if he sees Ghandi's that kind of guy, he's like, no, don't do that. Hold your hands like this.
Yeah.
This is why he'll stop and do that in the middle of his training. When he sees because you can't be around. Yeah, you can't be around guys and not help out.
How old do you have to be to come train?
8. What's the cutoff? Well, I used to train Mr. What is it? It's 78.
Okay, so I need to.
Wow, Rob is 78.
Wow. You're never too old. You're never too old. And it's about exercise.
It's about loving the game. You gotta love it, because you don't get hit.
And honestly, I wouldn't suggest that them boys should jump on Rob either.
That's right.
I wouldn't suggest nobody jump on that old man was still sharp. He's doing 10 rounds with a bag.
Wow.
How can someone contact you to be trained by you or to come to your gym, especially women with kids, that young boys and girls? In this era, people need to know how to protect themselves, and it'll prevent a lot of people from just fighting random.
Plus, you need the confidence
Right?
anyway.
The training and the discipline prevents people from being hot-headed.
Yeah.
So I think that's important for kids.
Yeah. I mean, well, they can reach out to me through either City Hall North or either I'm at 916 South Orange Avenue, North New Jersey, Boys for Recreation. I'm there. But if you was to call 973-733-6400, that's City Hall North, and tell them you're looking for the boxing program or the boxing director, Coach Nas, they'll lead you right to.
Great seeing you, man. Great seeing you, man. Great meeting you guys. This was very good, man. I learned a lot today, man.
Thank you.
Both of you guys coming. That's right. North, what's his name?
That's right, man. Brick City.
That's some great people coming from the city.
We represent Irvington.
Right.
They could represent. I'm a Irvington too. Okay.
I was born in Irvington. I've been living in Newark all my life. So I guess I can represent both sides.
I was born in Newark, lived in East Orange myself.
Fully right.
Born in North.
And Haiti.